Okay, so now what we're going to do is a journey into the interlife. Please, those of you who are at home, at the end of the journey, you'll need a paper and pen. For those of you who are in the room, this is why you have the clipboards and that black piece of paper. And if you noticed in the bag, you have some chalk or crayons. In the interlife journey that we're going to do, I'm going to set the intention out there, if it's for your highest good and greatest joy, to experience information about whether you are in your own process of reincarnating twice in the same lifetime, that you get some information about it. Now, information comes in many ways. Lawrence gets feelings. I'm very visual. And also because of the psi work that I do, I get knowings. Some of you may feel things viscerally in your bodies. Whatever is your go-to, that's how you're going to experience any information. And then what I'm seeing more and more with people is downloads, where you know something is happening, but just like downloading a zip file, it happens. But even after it's done downloading, now you open the zip file and you've got 100 files now to open up. We're having that in consciousness also. And I say this because sometimes people say, well, nothing happened. There's two things I find that are actually happening when nothing is happening, or maybe three things. One thing is the download. If you feel this sense of having a download, and you can ask your higher self, is this a download? And wait, get a confirmation, yes, no, whatever. And if it is, then just sit with it, because it's probably too much information for you to wrap your head around in this exercise. You will need to take time to process that information. Another thing that happens is you resist. You're afraid to go there. And so you resist. And if you feel yourself thinking, okay, I might be resisting, again, ask your higher self, am I resisting? If I'm resisting, then ask your higher self, please help me open up. And the third thing is, maybe you're here to hold the energy for others. Some of you are light workers. And you know what we're talking about, and you can actually do it on one side and be the holder of energy for others on the other side. You feel like you're not getting anything, but something in you says, hold the space, because you're like a jumper cable for those who are on the edge of getting their journey. So keep that in mind as we go along. Now, the journey, I call this into the interlife. But what is the interlife? There's a lot of different approaches to the interlife. And the way that I approach it is anything that is not conscious awareness has a possibility of being our interlife. Our dream work, our meditations, the life between life is definitely an interlife experience. But sometimes we can go into altered states of consciousness and get really wonderful things. I put in another word, meta consciousness. So remember, he talked about subconscious and consciousness, and I've tried to stay in that vein up until now. Now we're going to broaden the horizon, meta consciousness. I did not coin this word, but Joel Witten did. He calls it meta-consciousness is a supremely paradoxical state of memory awareness in which the recipient loses all sense of personal identity by merging into existence itself, only to become more intensely self-aware than ever. To experience metaconsciousness, direct memory of the interlife, is to reach beyond three-dimensional reality to learn one's reason for being and the nature of personal karmic involvement. This is in his book he co-authored with Joe Fisher, Life Between Life. If you're really interested in reincarnation, I highly recommend this book. Tom asks, who is you that is reincarnating twice in the same lifetime? You, the physical body, or you, the soul? And so, as I mentioned before, I don't actually use the word soul for what's animating this physical body. I think of it as a stream of consciousness. In the next couple of slides, I'm going to go into this more deeply. Imagine you're in the interlife between the previous incarnation. You've done your life review, and now you're at the menu station, and you're choosing what things that you want to work on in this life that are going to be imprinted on you. And now you get put in a room by yourself, and you choose what is your purpose. What do you want to accomplish in this life? We all seem to want to have a purpose in this life. So, I feel like that comes from within. It's our nature. So you come into this lifetime. Suddenly you realize something's weird. Something's happening. What is this? For me, when that was happening, it was revealed to me that I finished my mission, my purpose that I signed up for, and now I can do something more. So without dying, I'll tell you where I got this terminology. She calls it reincarnating in the same lifetime. When I was going through this experience and asking the universe, what the heck is going on with me? I was sitting in a deli, and it happened to be an organic foods and a library of metaphysical books. And this one book, I do psychometry. So my hand is like, okay, it's a Geiger counter. It's like pulling me over to this book. I hold the book and I open it up to page, I think it's 300, 301, something like that. And here it is, the heading, reincarnation in the same lifetime occurs when someone finishes his or her mission and moves into another life mission without leaving the body. In other words, I love what you say, spirit school. This is the graduate program. Isn't that wonderful? She says a cocoon surrounds the entity. And at that time, I was really feeling wobbly. And I had studied her light energy work. So I contacted one of her graduates and I said, something's going on, help. This is over the phone. She's holding the energy for me, going through the Barbara Brennan process. All of a sudden, her watch jumps off her wrist. She said, wow, your horror line was so out of whack. I had to work on getting it aligned. A lot of people think about the chakra system. The horror line runs along like the chakra system, but it's consciousness. It's the energy line of intention. That was the beginning of the process for me. When I asked Smita in the Vedic tradition, was there something like this? Because I was looking for, someone must have written something about this. And she told me about Dvija. But this didn't resonate with me because what it is about is following a school, a guru. And I knew, no, this is within. This is with me in the universe. So then I asked my Buddhist friends, I asked her, have you ever heard about this? And so this is what she gave me, upapaduka, meaning self-produced. Now this was getting closer. I knew it wasn't quite there, but it was really getting closer. And the reason why I knew it wasn't quite right for me is bringing up the demonic aspect. No, there's nothing demonic about this. It's an energy. It's aligned with your soul, oversoul, spirit, whatever you want to call it. So coming back to Barbara Brennan, she's talking about that when this happens, now you're going through a new interlife process. Sometimes people go through a midlife crisis and they do think about all the things they've done in their life, and they say, you know what, I could have done that better. They become more consciously aware and they say, I could have done that better. Or like in the 12-step program, there's actually the steps where you do reviews and you make amends and you try to live more aligned with your higher self. This is all part of the process. When I found this book and I got to this part, reincarnating in the same body can happen more than once in a lifetime. But she says, to her knowledge, this is extremely rare. I have a sense that when I had that first experience back in the early 90s, that was one part of my process. But when I arrived in Richmond, 4 o'clock, April 4th, 2004, I felt something open up. I've just been sitting with it, asking, is this another thing? And I can definitely tell my life purpose has shifted since moving here. So now it doesn't seem like such an odd thing. So I wanted to show you a couple of fun things. Did you know the male seahorse is the one who delivers the babies?
Finally.
Finally, he says, yeah. So there are anomalies in nature, and I consider this reincarnating twice in the same lifetime sort of an anomaly, right? It's not your usual thing. And then again, the universe just brings these things to me. I have this thought now, how am I going to show these different things to people that you get a visual graphic image? And the one that came up originally was the giant Rossi. The females look like the one at the top. But under the right set of circumstances, it changes itself into a male. If animals can do strange things, why not us? I figured if a caterpillar, think about it, it sort of symbolizes this process. You start out a caterpillar, you're only interested in eating food and getting bigger, but your range of motion is, somewhat restricted. You go through this process, and I love what Deepak Chopra says about the process where the cells of the caterpillar in the cocoon turns into cosmic soup. Yet embedded and coded within those cells is the knowing of how to come out on the other end as this completely different creature who now has freedom to fly around. What a wonderful way to describe this process of reincarnating twice in the same lifetime. I just put this screen in to show that I feel like the process of reincarnating twice in the same lifetime is part of our evolution. And just as we've lost Neanderthal and many other forms of our species, we may lose some of our Homo sapiens, but there are going to be those of us who are going to evolve into this other direction. Now we're ready to do a journey. So I want you to get comfortable. Throwing a lot of possibilities out at you. And remember, try your best not to be too self-critical. Just go with the flow as best you can. Before we do the journey, we can do this part open-eyed. I like to do a warm-up exercise, because I've been talking heady stuff. So now I want to do a little warm-up. Let's begin with an exercise to shift gears. Focus on your breath. Look at a spot in front of you. It can be on the floor, the ceiling, ahead of you. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to focus on. Listen to the sound of your breath. Pay attention to your breath. Notice the smell of your breath as you breathe in and breathe out. And some people can even taste the difference between the breath in and out. On the count of 3, I'm going to say a word. And in your vivid imagination, allow whatever comes to your mind to just be there. 1, 2, 3. Screwdriver. Got it? So sketch it on your paper. Sketch what you experience, just very quickly, because we're going to do a second warm-up exercise. Now, on the next exercise, in your vivid imagination, pretend that you are an entity from Selim. You may think you don't know where it is, but tap into your subconscious, into your metaconsciousness. Just allow whatever comes up for you when you hear the word Selim. Give yourself permission to conjure up anything. There's no right or wrong to this. Just conjure it up. And as you do, notice any details about you on this place called Selim. Notice its surroundings. Just play with it like a child. And if nothing comes up for you, that's okay too. Just bring your awareness to this place, Selim, or to nothingness. Nothingness can always be described as well. We just forget to focus our attention on it. Now, sketch or write, draw what you experience with that word Selim. And I'll tell you more about that later. You're stretching your imagination. You know, as adults, we sometimes forget to pretend. But here, you know, one of the lovely things about doing this symposium around Halloween, it kind of brings out the inner child, and tapping into your imagination does also. Now, before we begin the journey into the Interlife, we're going to focus on your intention. Do you want to know if you are reincarnating twice in this lifetime? Or maybe you want to know, have more clarity about your purpose in your life at this point in your life. Do you want to experience a dream time or meta consciousness? Whatever your intention, just hold that thought in your mind. Letting go of any expectations of outcome or preconceived ideas. Now, on the count of 3, focus again on your breath. 1, feeling more relaxed and open. 2, gently moving in to whatever state is appropriate for you. 3, be there now. As easily as breathing in and breathing out, your body relaxes, your mind relaxes, your emotions relax. And with every breath in and out, you become more and more relaxed, so much so that even any extraneous noises just take you deeper. Knowing that you are the creator of your life, your personal universe, the present you, like the caterpillar who has consumed all that it needs, is ready to go into a transition period. Just as the caterpillar knows it's time to weave a cocoon, you know that it is time to go within, inside a cocoon of light and love. Everything is changing. When other animals live out their existence in one form, the caterpillar is encoded with the ability to experience 2 forms of life. And as humans, this means you face your fears and your shadows with love. You unite with the aspect of yourself that animates your life force. You feel, sense, know the energy of unconditional love, harmony with all that is. In this energy of the interlife, you sense an urge to gather your transmuted energies to create new life. As a human with the ability to be aware and reflect on your life, and in the sacred space of the interlife, you have the ability to review whatever comes up for you about the past of this life. Just allow it to come up into your awareness, to view from the perspective of your higher self. Witness it without judgment. Witness it with compassion. Ask it to show you whatever you need to know about yourself or anyone else. Bring your awareness from your higher self to the situation and see, sense, or know the purpose of it. Now allow another experience from the past of this life, or maybe another life, to come into your awareness. And again, review whatever comes up from the perspective of your higher self, witnessing it also without judgment. Ask it to show you whatever you need to know about yourself in this experience. And know that you can practice this many times and gain more. During this review, notice if anyone you interact with in the past of this life or the past of another life is part of your soul group. Even if they created challenges for you or you for them, bring your awareness to the purpose of your connection. You might even remember the agreement you made with that person before you incarnated. Agreements to experience lessons, to complete unfinished business, or to continue to develop your skills. Again, there's no judgment. It's all part of this earthly experience, the evolution of humankind. Now in the sacred space of the Interlife, you have a choice to participate in the planning of your next incarnation or to follow your highly evolved guides' instructions. See, sense, or know what is for your highest good and greatest joy for you to create next for yourself and for the world. You might receive clear details, or you might receive an energy download that will be revealed in divine order. Take a few moments to feel the energy, however it presents to you. Soon the urge to embrace the transition you are going through and the new life you are creating fills you with joy. This new you must break through the cocoon that you've built around yourself, the walls that protected you during your transition. Breaking through the cocoon is another part of your process. You honor it. You embrace it with love, guided by the urge to move into a new experience. Just like the butterfly knows it's time to go out of the cocoon, to fly to new heights, to experience new fields and vistas. like the butterfly, you will do your part in the scheme of life to pollinate new life. Imagine what you will experience. Imagine what you will do, where you will go, who you will meet. See, sense, or just know what is calling you. Take time to be in your unique experience. Just as there are no two butterflies alike, no two fingerprints alike, you are unique. Your gifts and even your challenges are unique to you. How you choose to use them is up to you. You are a spark of the divine, so radiate your light. Feel your unconditional love radiating from the center of your being out to the universe in celebration. Every experience is an opportunity to express your magnificence, your divinity in physical form. Now remember the caterpillar with love, the cocoon with love, the butterfly with love. Remember the source. It is love, and you are love, because you and the source are one. You have created a sacred space to continue creating a new vision. You are evolving consciousness, which in turn affects every aspect of the human experience and the human species. Collectively, we are like pioneers of consciousness, going boldly where humankind has not gone before. So embrace the journey. Now thank your higher self for this journey as you focus once again on your breath. Give thanks for this opportunity to expand your consciousness in this incarnation. Take a deep breath in, becoming more aware of your body. This room, the sounds in the room, as I count 1, 2, coming back fully. 3, open your eyes and be fully present. Now, before saying anything, just take the black paper and and turn it over, you'll see there's a circle, and for those online,